I was listening to Tim Pool's show last night, Tim Pool IRL, which is usually a nightly thing for me to do. One of my favorite shows to listen to catch up on what's happening currently, especially if I had to work all day. So, they were talking about how weak men are taking themselves out of the gene pool and basically gonna go into the pods, and yeah, I don't blame them. Me personally, this life I am living, it's not very fun. It's not very interesting. You know, when you have 20% of men, and it might even be worse, it might even be like 10% of men getting 80% of the women. And they were like complaining that, you know, people aren't having families. Elon complains about people not having kids. Tim complains about people not having kids. Well, Tim doesn't have kids himself. It is extremely hard to have a family out here. Not only to try to maintain it, to try to keep your wife from going astray, because it's like you have to keep her not bored, because if she gets bored, she'll divorce you, take your kids, you're on hook for child support. Like, there's so many risks as a man. And then to like demean men when the system is completely against them is just absolutely ridiculous, in my opinion. And this is why I don't blame men for just saying, I'm gonna do the bare minimum to just support myself and then just to exist, because it's rigged against me so hard. Why bother? What's the point? I'm sure, like, was it 7 million, 8 million men aren't working right now? That might be an old statistic from like a few months ago. It might be different now, but people don't have a reason to. What's the incentive? You balance the risk reward, and you see, like, yeah, it'd be great to have a family and have kids, but I don't want a broken family. I don't want a broken home. And I don't want my kids being in that situation. There's so many temptations out here for everybody, for men to stray, for women to stray. Well, when it comes to social media, that's why I say, like, if you want to have a family, you should probably not have a big social media following. You should not try to not try to get famous. You should try to stay as private as you possibly can, so other people don't try to tempt you, try to sway you from your goal. Like, if you want to have a family, you should try to focus on the family. And yes, not every day is gonna be glorious and fun, and like, you think that people, like, there's the Kardashians, the little royalty of America, they're portrayed as like, oh, the greatest, and they're like, things are boring for them. Like, it's not all fun all the time for them, you know, and these people are extremely well off. But there's an illusion of, like, everything has got to be fun all the time. Like, no, like, having a family is work. Living life is work, and I think a lot of people don't live life. And for me, it's like, a lot of females nowadays just want, they don't want to put any work in. They want the man to have everything set up for them already. Everything's got to be accomplished. He's got to be top dog, CEO, the house, everything is built, and then she just walks in and she just, like, lives a life of leisure. It doesn't contribute anything, doesn't cook, doesn't clean, doesn't do anything. What is why are men working hard? I just want to know what's the incentive for men to work hard? I don't know. So, like, to have these guys, like, and I'm all for self-improvement, man. I'm all for trying to better yourself, and hopefully things will change for the better, and I think they will in the future. Right now it's trash, but I think that like it's not a good climate for men. And me personally, like when I look at reality and I look at digital, digital isn't where I want it to be yet. I want to be able to play like games and interact with AI characters. It's like interacting with like real people, people I'm never gonna interact with, like Tim Pool or Donald Trump. I might go on some crazy quest with these AI fictional characters. This is why I say people are going to prefer to have digital girlfriends, digital friends over real people, because real people are boring. I mean, there's an element to a human connection for sure when you got like touch and then like being in person with somebody that you vibe with, but we are becoming more and more separated from each other. And part of it is digital, but it's just like the people who get to enjoy reality are the very well off, and most of us are being put into the pods. Like whether we are already in the pods and we just don't know we're in some type of virtual reality, which I give some credence. I'm an open-minded person, but I don't think I'm if we're in a simulation, I don't know. Like I said, I'm open-minded. I don't think we are, but it is possible. But like, yeah, there's just like the rich people get to experience life, you know. Okay, so like me as a poor person, I go to work, I have to worry about my car breaking down. It's getting older, transmission's like starting to act up, and then I worry about my kids' future. I'm like, man, it's so hard for them. It's like, it's not easy. You have lack of opportunity. You're wondering what jobs are going to be there. So what am I going to invest my time in so I have some type of stability when it comes to income? Like things are changing so rapidly. The jobs that people traditionally thought would be a safe job, like let's just say computer, or like anything a computer with IT or anything like that. Well, AI is developing so quickly, like the need for people to learn that is like becoming irrelevant, because we already have enough people to actually do those jobs. I don't need to waste my time to learn that. It's just like I said about me not caring about how to fix cars. They just become so advanced that I have to like get like a special, like invest a lot of my time to be able to, like, I need some type of degree or some type of license to be able to even work on the cars that are coming out. You know, it's like so it's just trying to decipher, what am I going to spend my time learning? How is it going to affect what I'm investing my time in right now? How will that translate to the future? Is it going to be a complete waste? Am I going to waste my money? Am I going to waste my time? So there's this like, we're in this like, I don't know, kind of like a weird spot where we don't know what's going to happen. We think we know what's going to happen, and we have all this political things happening, and I'm so tired of politics, honestly. I can't wait till this election's over. But yeah, it's like, who the hell wants to work? Like Tim says he works 16 hours a day. Who the fuck wants to do that? Oh, so I can, like, yeah, he's well off, but like, there's like, doesn't seem like there's much of a balance, and most people don't want to do that. And yeah, it's just easier to go in the pods and eat the bugs. I mean, think about it. When I've heard we consume about 2 pounds of bugs a year anyway. And if you think about like when we are like we cook our meat or whatever, it kills the bacteria. Well, it has carcasses, right? Like, I mean, it's microscopic, but it's still insect or something. Maybe it's not an insect technically. Somebody's always got to be technical, but you get what I'm saying. It is a living organism that you're consuming that is now deceased. So it's something. If they made bugs edible where it's not gonna hurt me, like it's not unhealthy and it's actually good for you, and then it looks, tastes like real food, I don't give a shit. I don't care. Especially like if I'm plugged in, like, dude, reality can be cool. I'm not saying it can't be, but what I'm saying is, like, you have to have money to be able to do that. And then what's happening with the money and the resources is the elites are just taking it all. So like, we're just stuck with nothing. Like, my health insurance is absolutely worthless. Absolutely worthless. And I'm paying taxes. What am I paying taxes for? Especially when, like, we're letting people come here that don't pay taxes, and they're just taking from our government, and they have better health insurance than I do. Like, they have, but I don't even want to go to the doctor because, like, it costs me money to go to the doctor. Like, I'm already paying so much. And it's like, who the fuck wants to bring kids up in this shit? You know, I've seen a video of John Cena explaining why he doesn't want to have kids. Well, yeah, if you don't feel like you're mentally up for having kids, you shouldn't fucking have kids. You know, just having kids on a whim and being like, oh, trying to wing it, like, that's what people did in the past. No, if people want to have kids, which I think that it's a good thing for people to want to have kids, they should want to try to bring those kids up in the best environment that they possibly can be, not just to fucking have kids. It's like, then you both have all this stress on you, both the parents, and then half of the marriages end in divorce. So even if the parents stay together, they both have to fucking work in this economy. Somebody else is going to be raising their kids, whether it's daycare or the fucking school system. And then, like, what Tim Pool and Elon Musk are fighting are just like, they're fighting the woke. You know, same with me. But, like, then these people are just sending their kids to be indoctrinated to be woke by the school system. So it's like, what's the point? Just to create future slaves? Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, seriously, if we die in a whimper, if the human civilization dies in a whimper 200 fucking years from now, what the fuck do I care? I'm not gonna be alive then. Who gives a shit? It's not a big fucking deal. Like, do you think that people 200 years ago give a shit about us in a civilization? I'm sure that, like, I don't want it to die out, but it's like, dude, we have 8 billion people on this fucking planet. 8 billion people. And just to be irresponsible and tell people to fucking just to have kids. And then you hear it, it's like, oh, I got lucky and I found my wife. Yeah, you are fucking lucky. Most women, I think, have been brought up in a horrible environment, and they haven't had good leadership, they haven't had good examples, and then people wonder why they're horrible. Well, who wants to reproduce with that? Do you want your kids raised by that? Do you want to have kids with someone like that? Like, there isn't a lot of good options for men to want to have kids with. So these people need to watch their fucking mouths and quit telling people just to, like, I wish I could be on that panel on Tim Pool's show, and I fucking definitely would be pushing back on him. And I would push back on Elon too. I would be telling him, like, who the fuck are you to tell people that are poor to have kids? Like, what is that gonna accomplish? And I would bring up all these points. Unfortunately for somebody like me, I don't have a big voice. So none of my, Well, my ideas actually do get put out there. It's just later on. My ideas being put out there are not all 100% like they can be innovated. So the thing is, they can be innovated and made better. For instance, my idea of just annexing at some point Canada and Mexico and making it all America, so we can, and creating like 1,000 states, if not more, making it extremely decentralized, and making it so you can, especially with the depopulation going on, making communities for anybody in this world to be able to go to and assimilate very quickly in that community. And that's what America should be, just a huge melting pot of different communities of different people. And people don't get along, stay in your own fuck community, man. If you don't like the way somebody lives their life, you just stay away from them. Don't try to like push your culture onto their culture, and they shouldn't push their culture on your culture. We should all be separate in that type of aspect. Christians and Muslims, Jews and Muslims, they shouldn't be like living with each other in the same damn community. We need to be better organized. We should have better organized communities. In it, diversity when it comes to race is completely different than culture. Conflicting cultures causes violence, and it's cool to go visit other cultures, but like if they like, you know, they have different opinions, like, or the way they live is just completely different, then it shouldn't be like mixing. It's not good. It creates tension, it creates hostility, it creates violence. And I'm all for there not being violence. I'm all for us moving past nuclear weapons, and that's as a whole, the whole world, we should just decommission all nuclear weapons together. There's no point for them. But it's just like, yeah, dude, if the pods are way better, like, I would rather create worlds, interact in worlds with AI versions of people. I think are really, really cool. That, like Kurt Cobain, it'd be cool to interact and do. His AI might not even like me, but you know, just people that you think are cool, that are you'll never be able to interact with in real life. It's like these people who are telling you that real life is so great. Real life is great for them. They're famous. They have money. They can go and do things. The regular person, they ain't got fucking money. Like, my whole life is right now is basically the last few years is I go to work and then I fucking go home. I can't afford to go do anything. I can't afford to go date. I can't afford to do shit. And if I and to work more to get, it's just not worth it to me. Like, I value my leisure time more than, like, I'm supposed to work to my fingers to the bone and then enjoy leisure time for a second. Like, no, not at all. It's not like we live in the old times where we have to work from sun up to sundown to harvest our grains so we can survive. We don't live in those times no more. We should be cultivating people to be more creative, and developing new technology so we don't have to do these stupid jobs. I guarantee you, if these people who are advocating other people that reality is so great was to be living my life, doing my monotonous job, they would be in the same mindset as I am. And somebody's got to do these jobs. somebody's got to do these fast food jobs. Like, nobody likes to do this shit. That's like, we do this because we have to pay our bills, to be able to continue to not be homeless. That's why we do these fucking dumb jobs. It's like, yeah, like, given my life, if my life is just gonna be like this for the next however many years I got left, 40 years, what, hopefully it's not 40 if it's gonna be like this. If it's gonna be shit all the fucking time, if it's gonna be like anxiety and wondering, like, all it takes is one fucking broken bone and now I'm fucking homeless and bankrupt. If that's gonna be in the next 40 years, I hope it's like 10 years and I'm fucking gone. If that. I don't have much desire, much will to continue to live in this fucking reality if that's what it's gonna be. Now, if I'm in a different reality where I can cultivate my creativity and not have to be fucking hindered by these fucking monotonous jobs, or like, you know, if women actually change and they actually were interested in the average guy. It's so crazy that I'm an incel in 2024. It's so fucking crazy. There's other factors too, but I'm not gonna get into them yet, but one day I will. But it's just like, why don't men want to work hard no more? Because there's no incentive to work hard. For what? Most women are either, like I said, they're either already have kids with somebody else. Why would a man who doesn't have kids want to start a family with a woman that has kids already? Like, that's a shitty situation. And a lot of women out here that are available, quote unquote available, have kids. So like, most of the good women are already fucking taken, man. And for me, I'm just saying, for me, I don't deserve a good woman, okay? But a lot of these young men do. And they're slim pickings out here. And that's why I say, like, fucking enjoy your life then, man. Who gives a shit? What, you know, like, the game's stacked against you. The deck is stacked against you. You can only do so much. When society is degenerate, it's going in a downward spiral, when it doesn't give a fuck about you, when it hates on you as a man, continues to hate on you because of feminism, it's like, fuck you then, man. Fuck you. I'm gonna just do enough to get by, and fuck y'all can fuck off. This society is a cancer. It's turning into a cancer, and it needs to be the solution. Here's the solution. It's called hardship. It's called facing the pain and suffering we should be facing. They won't stop printing money. People need to face economic hardship. The problem is a lot of women don't ever have to face any type of consequences. They're always bailed out by men. Their egos are completely propped up by men. And this is why I say the root cause for all of the problems from feminism and all that is men. It's us. It's other fucking men. And that's why I'm like, I hope that the fucking simps gravitate towards AI girlfriends, and then they stop giving women attention on the internet. That will be a huge determining factor to change society. If women's social media gets dried up from the simps, they'll get less views, less likes, less comments, less messages in their DMs. They will retract their standards. Their standards are high, and they should be high because of men are fucking thirsty, and they will not stop chasing these women. They won't stop. It's like a drug. They're like on drugs, and Well, economic hardship, and it should be coming, but who the fuck knows. I would like somewhat of a soft landing. I don't want like a hard landing where we're like the urban centers are turning into cannibals. I don't want it to be like that. You know, I would like it to, I would like people to feel the pain and see what reality really is like. That way maybe they can change their outlook on life a little bit, because people are just being pandered to. So many people are being pandered to in this life, and they don't face reality, and reality is hard. And that's why, like, for me, reality is just too harsh. And that's why when I play a video game, I play it on easy, because I'm already playing life at like expert level, and I'm tired of it. It's just, I'm just done. Like, it's not getting any better for me. Every day just seems fucking worse than the next. And I try to have a, I'm trying to have a positive mindset. Like I'm trying to be like more enlightened, less like when I'm trying to let my personality show. And then when that happens to just me personally, bad stuff starts happening. I don't know why. I don't know why it can't just be like, oh, okay, like now it's time for good stuff to happen. I think I've been through enough bad stuff, and that's why for me, at this point, I'll take the, I'm already in prison anyway. I already feel like a slave as it is. What's the fucking difference if I'm in a pod eating fucking bugs at this point? I mean, I almost feel like prison would be a vacation at this point. Like, and that's so weird to say, because I feel like it's like a financial lockdown that we're going through right now. I go to work, and I'm walking to the gym right now, so I'm trying, man. I'm trying to better myself. I quit smoking weed a month ago. I'm trying, but it's just like, there's this like constant demoralization that's happening in our society, and it's fucking tough, man. It's fucking tough to keep plowing forward to try to do good things when bad things just constantly fucking happen. And it's so hard to just even survive out here financially. Shouldn't have to work like this. And if we do work like this, there should be like, yeah, to provide for my family, to have a partner that actually gives a fuck about me. We don't have that, so it's just like, well, I'm gonna do enough to get by. Fuck it. Who gives a shit? Women don't give a fuck. And it's not like a lot of these guys, man, they're just average guys, and they're trying to go after average women. But these women are they think that they're so much better. Like I said, it's because of social media. They think they're all fucking famous stars. In reality, they get bombarded by guys all the time, like, and they have high standards for a reason. And like I said, they should, because when you have so much, what is that? It's like when you go on the internet and you want to see the woman's figure, it's not that hard to fucking find it. It's fucking everywhere. What is that called when you have an abundance? You have an abundance of something, you take it for granted. And yeah, that's what happens. And you have to, in order to weed out people, because you have such an abundance, so you want the best, you go after the best. You know, if I had an abundance of shoes, but I only had a couple pair of Jordans or whatever, or the new shoes, I'm gonna wear the new shoes. Like, I don't give a fuck about the rest of the fucking, that's how women's mindset are. Like, because the guys are so fucking thirsty, they're so fucking weak, and they buy into Andrew Tate, which is, he's not very good. Like, he sounds good, a lot of stuff he says sounds good, but he's just not a fucking, he's not a very good person of character that young men should actually be looking up to, honestly. But it is what it is, and whatever.